Welcome back, Genes, to another episode of DNA's World. I'm Angel.
I'm Dom.
And welcome back to DNA's World.
World.
Today, we got a very special episode. We're going to continue our character building with Blackbeard. We're going to get to learn a little bit about CJ's crew. Maybe even learn a little bit about Madam Chang. Who knows? We haven't really thought about it through.
Nope.
But we have a direction. And we know where we're going. So let's just jump right back into it. I'm really excited to get started. Let my partner put his hat back on.
Let's get into character.
Yes, sir. All right. So we left off with Blackbeard and CJ giving off all these fresh goods, all these fancy jewelry and stuff to the people so they could sell it at the markets.
Blackbeard has a woman.
Oh, Blackbeard has a love interest, not a woman yet.
Love interest.
She's not his woman yet.
She is, okay.
It's the girl from the market.
Yep.
It's the love that he remembers. You know what I'm saying? It's the girl that it's the girl that he saw and he was like, hey, you know what? Damn, this girl is beautiful. Caught his eye and was like, she never left his mind. As he sailed back to home, all he thought about was her.
Cool
Think
wind,
about that.
breeze.
That's his first love too, guys. When you're a young man, you guys remember your first love as a young man?
He didn't sail by himself.
Fuck no.
He sailed with the men and women on that ship.
Yep. Blackbeard was learning about piracy too as he was learning how to sail. CJ, as he was bringing him back home, was telling Blackbeard exactly what to do, exactly how to move, exactly what to do. Was telling him stories as he was going. He was taking his time bringing him home pretty much, stalling. And Blackbeard didn't even notice. And then it gets to the point where they dock. And now it dawns on Edward. Young Edward Teach. They're like, all right, Blackbeard, kind of just joking around with the name at first. All right, Blackbeard, have a good day, Blackbeard. Yeah, Blackbeard. You know, they're all joking with him, and he's waving by as he's all happy. CJ says, hold on, mate.
Super happy.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, mate, before you go. He's
Tosses him a coin.
Gives him a coin, and then he's like, I'd give you a hat, but I don't want you to get in trouble with the law. So I'm going to just give you this coin. And listen, you ever need to find us? We're going to be on Tortuga celebrating.
And then everybody on the ship, as they're leaving, unison says, Tortuga!
Yeah, and they start singing as they're going away, and we'll have like them sing a merry song, and he's just like, he's watching them, guys, and it's like, as he's watching them, it's that face, like, you know you're leaving a party, and you don't want to leave that party.
No,
you're like, damn, but I got to go home. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it gets to the point where he is now just, he has to walk, he has to do that walk of shame. He's like, man, I got to go back to making swords, and I can't even do my own sword designs. Like, they were loving my sword. He was showing them his sword design, and they were like, whoa, what is this? Like, they were encouraging him.
Yeah.
And he loved it.
No, dude, they loved it so much that he offered him a job to make weapons for the ship.
It's like, he was like, are you serious? He's like, are you kidding? I got a base back home where the ship lands. It's a secret little island, my island. I got a bunch of equipment you could use. And he's like, I can't. He's like, why? He's like, why? And he's like, because I got a family here. It's like, family. The F word. And then everybody kind of laughs. Family. They're kind of mocking him like, family, love my family. La, la. They're like loving that.
I miss my mom.
Yeah, they're like joking with him, laughing. And he's like, ignore them. Yeah. They've been on the ocean for too long. Listen, hold on to that family.
They've got ocean mind.
Yeah, they got ocean on the brain. He's like, listen, you hold on to that family tight. Because you can't pick your family unless you're a pirate. And then he flips him the coin and says, goodbye, Edward Teach. And then
that was on the ship. That was on the ship, right? He was on the ship before he left?
Yeah.
Okay, so he should start walking back, like you said, walk of shame, upset. You know, man, like, you know, at first he was thinking, I don't want to be a pirate. But now that he had that experience and he understands,
he doesn't. It's like it's not all just like what he read about and what he was taught. Like, it's not all just rape and pillaging and stealing. It's about giving back to their people.
He's walking back sad, just like kicking rocks, and he ends up actually seeing Madam Chang.
Well, he sees her go into her little tent that's on her big ass ship, and he wants to like approach her, but doesn't. And then he's approached by two big ass ghouls, like, they got gray skin. Their skin is like really tan. They look like Elon Musk. You know what I'm saying? Like, never left the factory, bro, in like a year. You know what I'm saying? Their eyes are fucking like purple. They got like purple like eyes where it's like, you know how your eyes are blue and my eyes are brown?
They should be like water.
No.
Their eyes should be water. They shouldn't be purple.
Their eyes should be water. Well, no, I said purple because they're under like a magic spell.
They should be like.
But they're always
ocean.
wet. No, they're always wet.
Okay, that's good.
So they're always wet. It's
There
like
is
why,
no-
so
there
like
is
they
no,
walk
like-
up to him and they're dripping wet.
There is no like white. When
There's
he
no
looks
pupil.
In, yeah, there's no pupil. It's just straight flushed.
It's
with,
blue.
Yeah.
It's just flush
yeah.
blue
Yeah.
with white
Yeah.
and no pupil.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so white
That's
with
good.
blue, and they're soaking wet. And he looks at them
scared.
and he's like, "Excuse me," and they don't move. And then one of them like mumbles something, like he doesn't understand. And then they grab his arm and he's like, "Oh, okay, we're moving." And they bring him to Madam Chang, and she's all like, "Boys, how could you be so rude to my guest?" And she's sitting there in her like little throne. You know what I'm saying? It's
Day
fucking,
close. It's
you know.
it's day.
But
It's-
she's in her
it's
she's
day,
in she's in her tent though. She doesn't
Yeah.
want to be out. She's in
Yeah.
her tent. You know what I mean? And she's all like, "So sorry for how my men treated you."
Well, if they treated me any better, then I might actually want to stay in this conversation.
"You misunderstand, young Teach. I come bearing gifts." And she snaps her fingers, and in comes like 2-3 servants with like chests.
Ooh,
And-
chest?
yeah, chests. And he's all like,
emerald,
"What's this?"
Like, are you talking about emerald chest?
no, they're
Like,
just
they
they're
have,
they're
like-
fancy looking chests.
Ooh, dude.
And she's like, "Open one," and he's like, "Anyone?"
Opens it.
He's all like, "Everything in there is yours. My men will help bring it to your house."
The last time I've seen you, you've grown courage.
"What did you do that night after the party?" And she kind of asks him what he did, and she offers him a job.
Yeah.
She's all like, "I saw your pictures. You dropped one on the street," and she picks up one that's like has his name and signature on it because he got beat up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
he obviously dropped one.
Actually, let me refer to the audience with
Okay,
this.
go ahead.
Anybody that doesn't know what's going on right now, we are going part 2 with the pirates.
Yes.
Go check out the first video. It might be long, but it's definitely
We're gonna
worth-
link it in the. We'll link it in the at the end of the video, so you guys can click on it after this if you guys
Yep.
would like to listen to that, because
Yep.
that will kind of lead you if you're lost on like where this story is at. If you don't understand, go watch watch our last video because
Yep.
that will explain everything. So yeah, she offers him a job, and obviously he turns it down because of family. And her reaction to family is a lot different because obviously her kids all work for her, so all her family does as she wishes. So her whole opinion on family is like, family, just employees and people waiting for a handout. Be
Ooh,
careful
like
who
that.
you trust, young
like
Teach.
that too. Just dirty towards her family.
Like they all want something at the end of the day. Either they want you to succeed because they can have and profit off of you, or they want you to fail so that you always rely on them. Family's an anchor. If life was a ship. That's what she says. And then he kind of
I like it.
disagrees with her. He's like, "You're wrong." And 2 of the ghouls like approach him, and she's like, puts her hand up and says, "How so?" And then he's all like, "I'll prove you wrong." And he
then
walks out.
Yeah, I was gonna say it walks out.
And now he kind of he did not like her saying that to him. And she tells him as he's walking away, she's like, "Take care of yourself, young Teach. My offer still stands." And he's like pissed. He's walking away out of her tent mad as fuck now. And now he's realizing, he looks at the time, he's like, "Shit."
I gotta go.
And he got to go to work.
Wait,
and
how would he look at the time?
he has a fucking stopwatch, bro. Everybody's got a pocket watch in those days. Everybody had a pocket.
No.
Bro, I'm not researching it. Everybody had a fucking pocket watch. Or a compass.
in our store, in our universe,
Everybody
they
has a
had-
pocket
they-
watch.
This is like
A pocket watch is a fucking
in
cent in our
advance.
universe.
In it, yeah, okay.
A
That's
pocket
fine.
watch is a quarter.
That's fine. Okay, so it's like
He doesn't have a fancy pocket watch. He has a pocket watch that flips and it gets
You're
stuck and it's
saying
rusty.
The 1600s, 1500s, like nobody had a watch in the 1500s.
They had a pocket watch back in
You
those
think,
days, bro.
You think so?
Yes. They had lockets. They had things that fucking... Dude, they had music boxes on necklaces.
If we can hear it, you know they can.
Yeah, that's fucking here, guys. You guys are getting
Yeah,
the whole
so,
scoop. Some
yeah.
shit just happened in Modesto, California, dog.
Don't say Modesto.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to give her
I'm gonna
exact
bleep
coordinates.
it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bleep
That's how it's going to sound.
So he's walking back, and as he gets into his house, he opens his door.
I thought you went to work.
Yeah, his
Oh, his house is his work.
Yeah, I mean,
They live
they're,
at the
they're,
fucking
they're
They can't
kinda-
afford 2 places, Angel.
Come on, Angel.
Fucking assholes.
Jesus,
Who
we're
fucking
talking
assholes?
about. We're talking about.
So he
some
runs inside of the
rich-
blacksmith fucking office, or he walks through the entrance, and obviously his parents are in their bed upstairs. They're working,
He's thinking in his head.
and he tries to go to his station to
Silly.
where
Yeah.
to where he makes the handles and all that,
Yep.
and all the handles are already made,
Oh.
and he sees his mom's hands
His
are
dad's
wrapped up.
his dad's pissed.
His mom made the handles while he was
Ooh.
out partying and having a good time, and the mom hears him run in.
Yeah.
And she goes to his face, and she's like, "What happened to your hands?" And he's like, "What happened to your face?" And they're always concerned, and it's like he kind of like starts making up a lie about like where he was. He's all like, "I was just on the beach. I was just at the beach." You know what I mean? And then
What ship did his father sees him?
what ship did you take? And he's all
Yeah.
like, "I wasn't on a ship." And then he throws the swords down that they have ordered. He throws them
Yeah.
into their slots.
3 of them in a row.
Shing, and their little handles. All 3 swords went into the handles. Shing,
Yep.
he throws them
That
like
good.
on he's
That
that
good.
and then he fucking aggressively walks towards his son. You know what I'm saying? And he
You
fucking-
hear
he
the
plays-
footsteps.
Yeah,
You just-
he
oh.
puts his fingers in his son's hair, and he's like, "Really? Salt water in your hair? Your knuckles are all bruised up from rope burn. What's this? You got sea salt on your lips, son. You got thirsty? What ship did you take?"
His lips are chapped.
Yeah, because obviously
It's-
being on
yeah.
the ocean, it's thick water,
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
and it's thick air back in those days.
Yeah, he didn't even go too far. He went like 1 island away.
But still, when you're on that
Yeah.
water for that long, and you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And they took their time, and he was working, remember? Calico Jack had him working and doing him all that stuff on the ship. How to be a pirate, teaching him how to do all the stuff while he was heading him back home. And pretty much his dad was like, "What ship did you take?" And he's like, "I just took a little dinghy ship from a drunk, and I got it back before he was awake. I had an incident where the post fell, and I had to use a rope to lift it back up. So I had rope burn."
They
And his dad looks at him, and his mom is like, "How could you steal from a drunk? Are you crazy? He could have killed you if you found out." And she's like all worried and concerned, and his dad is like,
I think we have a. So we're gonna backtrack off of the first story. The first story we said they were fishermen.
"Oh, they're
For the-
blacksmiths, yeah."
With their blacksmiths, we're gonna completely reiterate that because it just goes with the
Yeah,
story.
so we're
right
gonna
now at this
update that in
point.
the description too for
Yeah.
everybody who saw episode
Yeah.
1. We'll put that in the description. We changed the teachers' jobs from fishermen to blacksmiths, and that's actually the deal that Thomas made with the Aguados, so that they can keep their house, because the Aguados were like, "We're gonna have our own blacksmith come in and work in here because this is a good location." And Teach is like, "No, that can't happen. My family lives here. I built this house." And that's when he convinces them, and he proves to them that he can make better weapons than their own fucking guy. So
Yeah.
Gustavo, the fucking El Jefe, tells them, it's like, "Okay, you can make weapons for us as long as your family and your son helps you do it," to kind of keep them all distracted, so he knows what they're all doing. He wants to kind of
Yep.
keep them all bundled. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't want them to explore or do anything.
So, basically, they're all like this whole ordeal is just up in a riot right now because the mother is worried, so worried about their son, and he just can't handle it, dude. He just can't handle it. He leaves.
He runs
He's
out.
like, yes.
His dad goes,
He
"Where are you
runs
going?
out.
Where are you going?" He's
I
like,
don't-
"Anywhere but here.
I feel like that should be the narrative here.
Anywhere but here."
Yeah.
And that's the last time he saw his parents. Dumb.
Yeah.
That's the last time he saw
Yeah.
his parents.
Yeah.
So then he decides to go back to Madam Chang, and because CJ's gone, his only friend is on his way to go party and have a good time, and he just said goodbye to his rage. Got the best of him.
Yeah.
And look, he said goodbye to his family, ran away with nothing, no food.
He almost feels like Madam Chang's words.
We're right. They
Like-
just want me to rely on them. They just want me to be stuck here.
Yeah.
So he kind of goes back to her, and he's like, "This is like a different Edward." He's pissed. He's like, "You were right about them." And she's like,
She flatters herself.
She's
Of
like,
course I'm right.
Of course I'm right, boy. I'm always right. And the sooner you realize that, the safer you'll be. And he's all like, "Can I still have that job?" And she smiles, like a big-ass manipulative smile.
But let's put this on record. His weapons that he would be building are not just a sword.
they're hybrid weapons. No, they're hybrid
They're
weapons.
they're not just a sword. They're a sword and a pistol. They're revolutionary weapons.
People are like, he's now making books about it. Like, if anything, we can flash forward to the pirate banquet that has to happen in the fall. There's a pirate banquet that takes place where all the pirates meet and they just discuss new laws, new codes, new ordinances, and all that. And pretty much, we fast forward to the fall, and now he has built up himself to be her like arms master. You know what I mean? So being her arms master,
he's treated well.
Oh yeah, he's got
treated
his own,
well.
He's got his own vessel.
Yep.
Where he has his own crew that he leads, and his crew, they got like their own cannons. You know what I mean? He has his own table, but he follows Madam Chang. He follows Madam Chang's orders.
His cannons aren't just regular cannons. They're throwing fireballs. They're throwing they're doing spread shots. They're doing revolutionary.
I think we
stuff.
should. I think we should. Because back in the day, they had they called that stuff black magic, but really what it was, bro, was just chemistry. And he figured out how to take how to take fire, and if you try to put it out with a liquid, it spreads.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot. Yeah.
So if you try to put it out with a liquid, or if you try to stomp it out, it freaking sticks to you. So he made like a freaking. He made like a liquid napalm.
So him being a part of Madam Chang's, taking orders and everything, would he pillage? Would he pillage and be going to other places?
No, he doesn't see that. She tells him that all he's doing is just following her because she has her fucking you know what I mean? She has her ghouls. She has her army of ghouls that he hasn't even seen yet. You know what I mean? She has her army of ghouls do all the pillaging. She doesn't sacrifice her human people. Mm-hmm. She has an undead army that does it for her. So pretty much he doesn't know about that army yet. He just thinks that he's making weapons for this chick so she can, make her human army stronger, but he has no idea that she has an undead army behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying?
Until one fateful night.
Until one night. The night of the banquet,
He's working really late, and he's hammering it out. All these ideas in his book. He's going to the table, going back and forth, just doing these revolutionary ideas and trying to make them a possibility. Eventually, he just exhausted. He gives up. He's like, all right, tonight's good. I've done enough. It's been a year, 2 years.
No. It's only been a couple months.
Okay.
It's been 6 months.
It's been a couple months. He's been hammering it out, and they've taken steps upon steps of revolution. And he's like, I'm going to give myself a good time. I'm going to go to this banquet. Well, as he's going to the banquet, he's walking up the narrow path to get up to the banquet, and he looks to the left. There's a big rock he's able to hide behind, but he sees Madam Chang talking to two people. Well, he ends up seeing those two people talking to Madam Chang, and she's yelling. She's pissed. She's really pissed. And she ends up actually punching one of the guys without them doing anything in return to her. Well, she gets done with the conversation, and he's behind a rock. So he gets done with the conversation, or she gets done with the conversation, and when she's done with the conversation, she tells them. He hears a really clear, "Be gone." And they just fall to the ground. Like they were never there.
They just vanish into the floor, you mean?
They just vanish into the ocean.
That's crazy. But he doesn't mention it as he gets to the ball.
Well, he's scared. So, being scared, dude, seeing that, peace out. I'm good. So I would... he thinks she just killed two people with just a be gone. So, out of fear, he runs to the ball, and he gets in there kind of frantic,
he's looking for somebody that looks familiar. He's scared. He doesn't know what to do.
Dude,
what would you do? You can't go to that ship.
No. I mean, so he gets there, and he kind of just winds down because he's about 15, 16 years old too?
Let's make him 18, 19.
Okay, he's about 19 years old, so he grabs a drink, grabs a cocktail, and starts to
a bottle of rum. He sneaks a bottle of rum sneaks a bottle of rum off the bartender. He's like, "Can I get a?" And then the bartender looks and he's like, you know what? Never mind. And then he walks away with a bottle. He's kind of just like, oh my god, like he doesn't know what to think.
Did it? Yeah.
And he sits down, slams the bottle down.
No, he runs away to the top tier balcony,
Okay.
and then she walks in through the door. Everybody, Madam Chang is here.
Oh, she's announced.
Yeah, she should be.
Please welcome Madam Chang, the host of tonight's festivities, the Pirate Ball, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they announce her,
Yeah.
and she's all like, she makes like a big speech, and it's like really long, but he's outside. He doesn't want to hear it. And her son comes out there while he's like outside just drinking, and he's all like, why aren't you in there listening to my mother's speech?
She comes in, and he ends up like getting plastered in like a matter of like, I don't know. It takes her. She's walking at a fair, like she doesn't care. So it takes her about 30 minutes. So in that amount of 30 minutes, he cleared half of this bottle. So he's pretty plastered. He stumbles outside through the door, and there's like a balcony kind of area, or like a meadow.
So halfway
type
through her
area.
speech, it's like 30 minutes long, you mean?
Yeah, I would say so.
So her speech that she's giving is
Yeah.
like 30 minutes long, and she's like
Yeah.
talking to everybody about like all the success and
Yeah,
like everything
yeah.
that they've had happen.
Yeah,
And halfway through, he gets sick and tired of
actually
hearing of it.
mentioning Blackbeard in the speech.
Like,
if it
and of
wasn't-
course, for
yeah.
my master of arms, I
Yep.
could not be here for young Edward Teach. And everybody claps for him, and he's just sitting there drunk, and he's like,
Nobody knows where he's at.
yeah.
Nobody knows because
Yeah.
he came in and they look around, and he ends up just going out.
Yeah, he's outside.
As he's outside, one of her sons.
Yeah, one of the captains of the ship, who's
Yeah.
like one of the generals of her army. He's like, why aren't you inside supporting my mother? Like, he's a fucking asshole, you know?
Why are you hiding?
He's all like, it's like, I was looking for your sister, but I couldn't find her.
Ooh, like that?
Yeah, he's like, really? It's like, oh, come on, Lee. I know you never liked me. You never wanted me a part of this team. So why are you acting like it? You know what I think? I think you're scared. And he starts talking to him because he's drunk, and like it's all coming out now, like shit that he's not supposed to tell him. You know what I mean? He's all like, I think that they're afraid. I think that you want to step out, but you don't.
You're afraid Calico Jack and his crew.
And I
are
know
gonna
that's
end up-
why, yeah, and I know that's why your mom is pissed. And I know that's why you are no longer taking on the supply runs. Because I know Calico and his crew have been stealing from you.
Ooh.
And
He
it
gets
like hits him.
mad.
He's all
he
like,
gets mad. He punches him.
those are mutiny words. And then he like hits him, and he's all
Boom.
like, I'm going to bring you to Madam Chang. He's like, get off of me. And they start like scuffling. Hits him over the head with the beer bottle, and the guy fucking tumbles back off the fucking cliff. And Edward tries to catch him. He's like, no!
He falls.
And he falls.
Dude, he falls to his death.
And he looks,
dies.
and he's just, and the waves like the waves go over his body, and he thinks like the waves took him, right? But he runs away before he can see the waves like retreat, and he runs, and he runs. He doesn't even go through the fucking ball. He just goes around the whole building, and lo and behold, guess who comes to crash the party? It's like, I know Madam Teach. It's like, hey, Teach boy, and then he's like, I mean Blackbeard.
Okay, they come back.
CJ, yeah,
They
he
come
sees him
back.
sailing back. He's all like, well, we came to fucking mess up this ball because we heard Madam Chang was going to be hosting it. We thought we'd come and get some free stuff. Maybe some alcohol, some jewelry, but you've seen a ghost.
Come on, boy.
It's like, let's get out of here. And so they don't even get on the island and, like, break the ball anymore. Like, this
No,
guy
'cause
looks
he's
scared
He's
as fuck.
scared. They're trying to take him away from whatever just happened.
Because they know that he did something wrong. Like he's like, I fucked up, and he passes out because he's drunk, and it all just hits him. Like seeing CJ and Ann and Mary and all the crew again, it just like it hits him. You know what I mean? And it's just he just passes out. He faints. That's sick. Look at that. It's a ring.
Yeah.
That was cool. So yeah, and so Madam Chang. So he passes out, and he should be passed out throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
So Madam Chang.
But we should go to Madam Chang's help me out here, dude. Visual, like first person.
Oh yeah.
This is now we're Madam Chang, and this is what she's seeing.
So he's gone. Edward is gone on CJ's ship, and they took the Kingston, and now they're sailing away as far away from Madam Cheng as possible because they know that they're gonna they know something happened, and they're gonna ask him questions about it in the morning when he wakes up. But now we're back at Madam Cheng's party. All her children are accounted for except for her oldest, the general, the one who's in charge, the one who was in charge of all the trades, but the Kingston was taking all the supplies. She's looking everywhere for him, and she sends a search party out to find him because she thinks he got drunk, you know what I mean? But he never gets drunk. You know what I'm saying? So it gets to the point where somebody actually finds him, and they come and they don't want to give her the news. Like, they're like, Madam Cheng, we found him.
We regret to inform you.
And she's like, no.
So mad.
She's pissed.
She ends up killing that guy.
Oh, yeah, the one who informed her?
Yeah.
Yeah, the messenger. She shot
and
the
nobody
messenger.
bats an eye.
Nope, they just knew that was going to happen. It's like, you fucked up by telling her.
Should have never found him.
Nope, you should have you should have never found him. And pretty much, she's like, I want to see him. And so they go to where he is, and they, you know, she has her ghouls retrieve their bodies.
She's crying her eyes out.
And you could tell, like, that whole facade about family now falls, and you see how fake she really is and how much she actually really cares about her children. But it also shows you how selfish she is, too. It's like she would fuck up and kill every family out there for her own. You know what I'm saying? But I think anybody would at the end of the day, but she'll take it to an extreme. She'll burn villages down, you know what I mean, to get answers. She's like, I want to know who did this. You are going to bring them to me, and they are going to pay for what they did. And so she brings his body, right? And she doesn't notice anything peculiar about it yet. She just wants to get him off this island and back home. So she's now sailing back home for, you know, to prepare a funeral, and they actually get the funeral prepared.
Where's her home? Not that island, right?
No, it's China. No. She goes so she has an island near China, like old Eastern, like back in the day.
So you would figure this timeline takes about like 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
So while they're on the boat sailing back home to the funeral, it's going to take a couple months to get there, right? So they're just telling her, they're like, Madam, you need to get some rest because she hasn't left the bow of the ship where the body's being held, and it stinks. Like, she's not letting them wrap it. You know what I mean? Like, they want to wrap it.
Don't touch my son.
Yeah. Every time they're like, Madam, we need to wrap it. The ship is starting to... And before they even say stink, she's like, no. Nobody touches him until he's home.
I mean, any mother, you would figure, would be that kind of way towards their deceased son.
And she's holding his hand, and his hand is, like, starting to corrode. You know what I mean? And it's like she's just holding his hand the whole time. And she's staring at him, and she's just, like, wondering what happened. You know what I mean? And then she realizes, like, she looks at his clothes, and she realizes, it's like, he fell on his back. Like, she's starting to, like, put everything together, like, she's looking at it. And she's very smart. And she looks, and she sees that a part of his shirt is ripped. So he was shoved, and then somebody tried to grab him. So she's all like, so she like looks at that, and she cries. She begins to break down in tears. But that crying turns to, like, wailing screams of anger.
The oceans start getting rougher.
Oh, yeah, the ocean starts to, like, get crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now, like, fast forward to, like, it's now nighttime, and she's meeting with her children, and she's all like, we need to find out who did this. Who wasn't at the party? Do anybody remember any faces? And they all look at each other, and they said, Edward stole a bottle from the bar. What? It's like, yeah, we had a couple witnesses saw him. Even Lee saw him do it. Lee saw him do it? Yeah, he told me that, hey, look, Edward stole that bottle, and he was going to go mess with him. But Edward went outside. And they all looked at each other, and they were like, son of a bitch. Where's Edward? And so they go to his ship, and they ask all his crew.
She's on a trip.
Oh, yeah.
Going back home. So she has to send some kind of message.
Oh, she sends a brigade to his ship. Like, she sends a message to her brigade, like her hit squad.
She breaks off 2 people on a go. Find a boat and go back and find Edward Chi.
Find his crew. If you can't find him, question them. All of them. I want him here now. She needs to question him.
Dude, they go back, kill his parents. They go back and kill his parents.
We want to kill him.
You think not?
I was thinking
Out of anger,
I was
like,
thinking
come
like
on.
I was
come
thinking
on.
I was thinking like they go back to kill the parents, but the parents are gone, or the parents kill the people who go to kill them, and they're like, we need to get out of here. So now they have to go into hiding.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a good narrative,
Yeah,
too.
they go into
because then
hiding.
it adds like a future kind of like reunited.
Yeah.
Shh.
It adds a little like we can have a little
Hush,
yeah.
hush. Don't say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that'd be a great like little thing. So yeah, the two people who go to that, the teacher's like, home, they break in and they don't find nothing, and then they're like, we got to burn this place down. So they try to burn it down, but before they can leave, all of a sudden the mom and the dad, they still got it. You know what I'm saying? So they kill those guys, no problem.
Dude, the dad literally with those 3 swords? Come on.
Yeah,
dude.
he has 2 swords. He
can't-
fights with 2 swords, and the mom fights with 1, but she always has a hidden pistol. That's her thing. She's always had a hidden pistol. She's like, I knew this would come in handy. And so like she fires her pistol off, and she's like, and then he's like, we have to go. So they gather their things and they go into the forest, and then they have to live their life in kind of hiding for a little bit. But Madam Chang, you know what I mean? She gets word that the teach's place is burnt down, right? And they weren't found. But the men who were sent are dead. So that pisses her off even more.
And word's traveling by like other ships that are
She has
able
messengers,
to,
obviously. And all
They're
these
able to
messengers that are
go-
giving her bad news are obviously dying. Every messenger she has that brings her bad news is dead. She kills them because it's just horrible news after horrible news. And this is like her way of like telling everybody, it's like, if you keep giving me bad news, I'm going to kill every single one of you. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And so now she's still sailing back home, right?
Yep.
And she now tells her children, it's like, we need to find Edward. Who has an idea of where he is? And then it's like, he went off about him knowing CJ.
To who though? Who would we?
Oh, he should have a rat. Dude, there should be a rat. Like somebody who had a conversation with Edward, and he mentioned CJ one time to that guy when they were talking. He's like, oh, one of the kids brings one of Edward's crew members, like one of the people who work for Edward, you know what I mean, to her. She's like, Mom, we got somebody who knows a little something about Edward.
They end up beating him, not a rat, but like beating him so close to death.
We got something. It's like, we figured it out. We got something. And then she goes down to where they're beating the shit out of him, and she's like, tell me what you know. Like, impatient, like, doesn't have any patience. She's like, the guy's crying, and he's like, I want to go home. And she's like, just tell me what you know.
Dude, she should suck the water out of his, like, body to make him, like, dehydrated. And then be like, you need some water. And have, like, him shackled to the boat.
Oh, so he can't even drink.
Can't even drink water.
That's horrible,
Can't even drink water. Like, he's just so close to the water.
He's all like, please, I need some water. And she's all like, tell me what you know. And he was all like, he mentioned the CJ. He mentioned the Kingston ship. He mentioned how he knew that CJ was the one behind all the attacks. And he wouldn't do anything.
Honestly, this would be for story progression. But the guy they catch should be one of the guys that helped Calico Jack and Blackbeard on the island that was burnt down.
One of Calico Jack's crew members
gets caught on one of the islands. He stays back, and they catch him, and they take him back to Madame Chang.
Jean-Philippe got caught.
Yeah,
the French guy got caught.
I think the island should be fairly close. I don't think it should be far away.
Yeah.
In China.
CJ left his guy behind to like hold down the fort, and Madame Chang caught wind about CJ's man being left behind. She sends her guy. She sends her guys, and they succeed. He tries to run, obviously, but they catch him, and they beat the fuck out of him.
He kills like 3 of them, but she sends like a squad of 7.
Yeah, her hit squad. She sends them, and they fucking capture him, and they're like, he's like, well, kill me already. He's French, right? So he's so disrespectful. He's like, kill me, you motherfucker. I'm going to fuck you up if you don't. And he's all
We're not saying all French are disrespectful.
No, but just every French guy I've met, they're rude when it comes to shit talking. Like, you play Call of Duty against a French person, bro, you're gonna get shit talked. I'm telling you right now, it's the worst experience ever. They're like, damn, bro, you fat American,
you fight me the wrong way.
But they're like, no, Madame Chang has some words for you.
Yeah.
And now we flash forward to him being caught and her draining the water out of him into a freaking...
Because she, at this point, if people in the story haven't realized, she has a magical gift. The only magic that is referenced in this kind of storyline, because everything is more technological and up to date, up to standard, right? Up to date.
Well, yeah,
up
people
to
have
standard.
everybody has a stopwatch. Everybody in our universe has a stopwatch. Like a stopwatch is like 25 cents. You know what I mean? Like there's smart people in this world. There's a library. There's scientists. You know what I mean? Like it's not like these pirates are dumb. You know, they're smart motherfuckers.
Not everybody's pirates.
It's just people people had a bad upbringing and they had to resort to the only thing they knew, and that was stealing. You know? And it's just like, you know, it's just the time that you live in. You know what I mean? And it's just your, what is it? You're a product of your time. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what, like, you know, CJ was. He was a product of his time. You know, like, life was unfair for the poor. You know what I'm saying? And if you were poor, you had no choice but to either, like, you know, take the shitty jobs with the rich people and get treated like ass, or be a pirate. You know what I'm saying? There was no in-between for them, unfortunately. You know? There wasn't like you could go and be an Uber driver. Look at that, like a gangster. It only took 2 of them. But anyway, not hating on it. So yeah, she questions him, and he finally breaks, and he gives up the location of where the Kingston likes to port. And after he does that, she pours the water on the floor and breaks the chains, and he drinks the water off of the dirty ass floor
with like ocean salt. So
Oh,
it's not
dirt.
even
It's
it's not
fucking-
even
it's
like
dirty,
good
yeah.
water. It like he's not even getting nourishment from it.
Nope.
And then she ends up saying, "Kill him."
Oh yeah, they slit his throat. But
Kill
then
him.
she's walking away,
He,
and you just
he
hear
gives them information.
it. Yeah, and you hear it. You hear it happen. You don't see it happen. But he's like, "No, I told you," and it's over.
They say, this is the information he gives them.
Go ahead.
They say, or he says to them, they're headed to another ship close to the main island. You can catch them by sunrise.
If you use a fast enough ship, but there is no ship faster than the Kingston, or bigger enough to take down the Kingston by yourself.
Dude, she takes the waves and turns the ship and starts heading that way with her magic.
This is a force to be reckoned with now. Like, I hope you
Yeah,
guys realize
she
that
is
Madam Chang is
pissed.
not a regular person.
By this time, it is like
she
the
has
middle,
learned magic from her young age.
It is the middle of the night. By this time, it is the middle of the night when they get the information. She turns the ship around by tidal waves and ends up going. Everybody on the ship's terrified, scared. And she ends up taking the ship and boosting it with almost the force of a tsunami.
So her ship is being carried by a wave, pretty much.
And obviously sail power.
I like that. But her ship has like those side sails. They don't have the main sail that goes up, because I feel like that would break in the wind.
That
she
was
has to
something-
have like the side wing
You know
sails.
what's great is Edward Cheese, the one that fucking
He's the one that
created
made
it.
that design.
He made it for her.
And it pisses her off that she's even using it. Like she just has a scowl on her face that she's using his
She's
ship.
happy she's gonna kill him in a matter of time
Mhm.
with his
the own
with
weapon she
his
made.
own weapon of or own maneuverable equipment.
So it's the middle of the night, or is it the next morning now?
I mean, we can go to Edward.
So it's the next morning.
Oh,
And-
did I say Edward Cheech?
No, yeah, you said
I said
Cheech.
Edward Cheech.
You said Cheech.
I meant Edward Teach.
Yeah. So it's the next morning, and he wakes up in a bed, right? And it's a small person bed, you know what I mean? And it's like a man-made bed, you know? It's a bed that's like sitting on barrels.
Hits his head.
Yeah,
on
he's like,
something.
"Ah."
Yeah,
And he's being watched, obviously, by CJ.
yeah.
CJ's like sitting there, like with his feet up. He's like, hey, "Morning, princess." I mean, Blackbeard. You know what I mean? Like he's trying to get in the flow of calling him Blackbeard.
So what happened? He wants to know what he saw.
He's like, "Do you remember anything that happened last night?"
I feel like he should say,
I know what happened.
then say it, buddy. Say it.
He sits up and he's all like, "Mistakes." And he just looks at CJ and he's all like, oh no.
The biggest thing should come out. Because he trusts him. He trusts him so much to carry this information.
I killed Li Chang. He's like, you killed Li Chang? Madam Chang's right-hand man, son, Li Chang? And he's all like, yeah.
I don't know. I need some air. Pushes him away.
He like opens the door, walks out, goes up, and like leans over like the bow, and he's all like, fuck. And Mary comes to him and she's like, is it that bad? And he's all like, the boy killed Li Chang. It's like, wow, you did all the footwork for us. She's like, Mary, this is not a joke. And she's all like, yeah, but she'll come for him. And when she does, we'll be ready. Like, she's all about that action,
but
bro.
They don't know what power she holds.
No,
and
because
that should be something
they're taking her lightly.
Yeah, and that should be something he tells them, like her, and the whole gang is
He's
look,
all like, you guys don't know what kind of power she has. She's all like, we've sailed these seas. Believe us, we know exactly what we're walking into.
She made 2 men die
right before my eyes by just speaking. She's like, those men weren't dead. He's like, what?
Oh,
like,
she knows.
He knows. Calico knows.
Calico knows.
Calico
Not
knows.
The girl.
I
feel like Calico shouldn't know.
No, Calico know because she has sent her ghouls after Calico. Think about it. Calico's stolen from her, so she's pissed at Calico already. He's like a fucking gnat who won't leave her alone. You know what I mean? He keeps stealing her shit. You know, so she sent people out to kill him, her own ghouls, and he knows what they are, but they never can do it. They never get the job done. He's always outran it. You know what I mean? So he's all like, they ain't dead, boy. He's like, they're living, but they ain't living.
But then
they're her ghouls.
But
man.
then Jack realizes that he ended up stealing something from the manor.
Calico did?
Nope. Or not Calico Jack. Sorry, Blackbeard.
Oh, yeah, Blackbeard.
Blackbeard stole something when he was fumbling around
upstairs.
When
he was fucking upstairs. He stole something.
He stole something. Out of habit. He stole a necklace. And he said, this is Madam Chang's necklace. I was hoping that we can sell this or something.
And he looks at it. Calico looks at it. And he's just like... Excuse me. He looks at it and he's all like, do you know what this is? It's like, this is her amulet. This is what controls them. If she gets her hands on this, she can use her army to come after us. So she cannot get her hands on this again. You understand, Blackbeard? And he's all like, yeah, I got it. He's like, good. Now
we have to make a plan.
It's like, look, we need to take this to the authorities. And Calico's like, no! The authorities? Why? It's like, they have a safe big enough to hold this in. They have an army. It's on land. There's no way she'll be able to get it. I'll give it to them. I'm not wanted.
I don't think they should give it to them. And that's where we're going to end it, you guys. Thank you for checking out DNA. So be sure to like and subscribe.
Peace out.
Peace.